What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be reviewing 1990's Predator 2.
Please, we can kill it.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
I will hunt you down wherever you're hiding, and I will eliminate you. I am justice.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it, or you can help me to stop it.
I'll take you through the plot of this one. All spoilers. I don't even know. You can't describe Predator 2 and do it justice. This is a movie that needs to be seen in order to really be appreciated, because I can describe it to you, I can show you clips. Nothing I say will convey how stupid and crazy this movie is. It's the most 90s movie I've ever seen. I don't know how to describe it. Is it bad? Is it good? I think it depends on your taste. I think this movie's hilarious. Regardless of quality, this movie is hilarious. So let me take you through the movie and we'll discuss why I find it so funny. We move from the jungle into the concrete jungle, which is a super visually uninteresting location for the movie. It's very dull and bland. I don't like that setting. I think the setting of the original works way better. There's a huge random war that just breaks out in the middle of LA between the police and some drug cartel. I guess you could say this is a war on drugs. Because get it? They're fighting gang members who are drug cartel dealers. The world's best cop shows up. His name is Harrigan, played by Danny Glover. He rides into action, attacking the gang members in the most cliche action movie style you can, hanging out the car door while shooting a gun. Then the gang runs inside, and the Predator winds up showing up and killing them all. The bodies are discovered by Danny Glover as he's breaking orders, entering into the locked down area. He's not supposed to go in there. It's not his jurisdiction, damn it. But he goes in anyways. You know why? Because he's the best cop in the force and he gets the job done. So he runs in there. He gets one of his men killed in the process. Gary Busey shows up. Yep, that's right. The one and only Gary Busey. He shows up and yells at Danny Glover for breaking the rules. He's like, hey buddy, this is my jurisdiction, you can't go in there. We then meet Danny Glover's buddy cop in this movie, who's played by Ruben Blades, aka Daniel Salazar from Fear the Walking Dead. So that's fun. Remember when I used to have time to do reviews for that show? Yeah, well, I wish I still did have time to review The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, but I'm a very busy person because school sucks. After being yelled at for being a rogue cop by his commanders, Danny Glover meets his new goofy partner, played by Bill Paxton. One of the best parts of this movie. Bill Paxton is an absolute legend. Rest in peace.
And all you gotta do is tee it high and let it fly. Ow! Dead solid, perfect. Now remember, for distance, you gotta gently but firmly grip the club.
We cut to like a super graphic sex scene. I'm not going to show it. It's like there's like this weird thing that happens. This gang busts in and they tie the guy up upside down by his feet and cut his heart out. And it's like a voodoo gang or something. The Predator gets all mad because, like, hey, killing people, hanging them upside down, that's kind of his thing. So he jumps in the room and he annihilates everyone. And one of the cooler action sequences in the movie, this might be the coolest action scene in the movie. And this just shows off how cool this Predator is. He's way cooler than the Jungle Hunter Predator. He gets so many good kills in here. After this all goes down and everyone's dead, Daniel Glover runs in, best cop in the world. He runs into the crime scene, even though, once again, he's ordered to stay out. But like, what the hell, man? He just runs in there and starts messing with everything, like touching everything. Man, this just set back the investigation by like months. Then that night, Daniel Salazar goes back into the investigation, even though, once again, he's ordered not to, but he's ordered to by none other than Daniel Glover, so of course he has to go back in. Then Daniel Salazar gets killed. Oh shucks, oh darn. Glover's then roasted by Gary Busey and his superiors for being the most disobedient cop on the force, despite, once again, being the best goddamn cop in this city. There's like this great scene when the news is like, the news report you see is like, look at this horrible cop, Danny Glover. And then you cut to like his captain or his superior or whatever, Danny Glover's, and he's like, how dare they say that? This man's the world's greatest cop. He can go one-on-one with RoboCop and come out alive, or whatever.
Also responsible for the destruction of 11 patrol cars, a city bus.
What about 10 commendations for valor? And the best felony arrest record in the history of this department.
Predator shows up, he fights this voodoo king, and he decapitates him. It's a fight off screen, but the landing's pretty cool when he lands in the water and you can see his reflection, but you can't see him. That's pretty neat. I wonder if that means like you can see his reflection in mirrors or windows or something. I don't think so, but why would water reflect his body but nothing else? I don't know. Because it makes for a cool shot, I guess. Then there's this horrible attack scene on a subway where a bunch of crazy people with guns get killed by the Predator. Starts this like super nauseating strobe light scene that's almost incomprehensible. In the end, everyone who's armed on the cab winds up being dead, including poor old Bill Paxton. Daniel Glover chases the Predator until he is kidnapped by Gary Busey, and the Predator tests out some old theories to see if good old Benjamin Franklin was full of crap or not by standing on the top of a building and waving a metal stick around until he gets zapped by lightning. And he rips out this skull and is roaring, and it's a pretty cool shot. It's my favorite shot of the movie. Sadly for the Predator though, he did not have a kite to attach this spear to, meaning he had to take the full brunt force of this lightning by himself. And even more disappointing for the Predator, he didn't even contract any random magnetic powers from the lightning. So I guess strike that one up. You want to jot that one down for yet another reason why Godzilla is more badass than any other fictional character that exists. Then we have a scene where Gary Busey forgets he isn't the villain of this movie as he goes on a cheesy villainous monologue about his motivations, spoiling all of his plans to Danny Glover, who's definitely not a high enough rank to know all this stuff. But hey, just tell him about the events of Predator 1, why don't you? I guess the audience wants to hear it, so you might as well let your main character hear it. Predator then figures out that Busey's men have found a way around the not thermal vision. If you're wondering why I say it's not thermal vision, you're gonna have to go watch my 4-hour podcast on the Extremely Low Budget Films channel called the Extremely Low Budget Podcast, where we talk about the Predator franchise as a whole, reviewing each movie for an hour at a time. Link down below. So to get around this, Predator switches his thermal vision to his patented I can see your flashlight vision. He then kills all of Gary Busey's men, but fails to kill Gary Busey as Daniel Glover explodes his way into the slaughterhouse. Then he fights the Predator one-on-one. The two share a cute moment where they do a pre-TikTok half and half of Arnie's famous quote from Predator 1.
You are one ugly mother.
Aw, how cute. Did you see the way Predator gripped his neck? That's so sweet. Busey saves Glover's life and gets himself killed in the process by Predator's smart disc. Fun fact, much like the Predator, Gary Busey is also not from this world. I think he must have some sort of like higher dimensional being thing going on, because there's no other explanation for why the top half of his body disobeys the laws of physics and defies gravity by not falling down when he gets cut in half. I guess the top half is just using its godly powers to float away into the void, never to be seen again, but hey, what do I know? There's a chase scene. Daniel Glover tackles the Predator off the top of a roof. The Predator realizes he's played himself by trying to fight the world's greatest cop, so he just decides, yeah, I'm gonna lose anyways, and he switches his little flip on his arm, and he activates self-destruct with his wristband. But it's okay, because super cop Daniel Glover chops off the Predator's arm, stopping the explosive timer for some reason. The Predator uses some good old bug juice and hippie materials to heal his wound, just in time to be chased around by Daniel Glover some more.
It's all right, I'm a cop.
I don't think he gives a shit.
The fight eventually makes its way into an elevator where they go underground into a spaceship? What? How did no one find that? I mean, it's seriously right underneath a building, like direct access from the elevator. Not to mention we find out that this is like a gang-infested area in the end anyways, because there's like graffiti all over this place. It's like a sewer underneath a building connected to the elevator chute? I have no idea. This movie makes no sense, but it's hilarious, I promise you. Daniel Glover finds a wall of skulls that has a xenomorph skull on it, but Predator 2, come on. Cinematic universes won't be popular for like another 2 decades. You're getting way ahead of yourself. Daniel Glover then uses his smart disc to super underwhelmingly kill the Predator. Loads more Predators show up and they surround Daniel Glover, giving him some sweet trophies from 1717. It's like a pirate pistol or something from a comic book, I don't know. Glover makes it out of the underground area, and when he sees the spaceship fly away, the end. Super cop saves the day. Hell yeah. So what's the verdict? Man, I'm telling you, this movie is crazy. Well, it's a bad movie, but it's so bad I love it. Everything in this movie is just so goofy, it doesn't make any sense. There's like this weird lethal weapony feel in here. It's definitely not a horror movie. Like, it doesn't fit the horror genre at all. And it's not even like a Predator movie, because it's a Lethal Weapon movie that has a Predator in it. But the cast is, it's kind of great. They're all over the place. They're all over the top. It's hilarious. The Predator is great because he's way cooler than he was in the first movie. This might be the coolest he ever winds up, and his unmasked face looks even cooler than the original Predator. It's got like some cool lines on it or something. The special effects in this movie are fantastic. For the most part, there are some goofy digital effects that they do in here. And the soundtrack's alright, once again done by Alan Silvestri. For a horror movie, I'd say this is worth a watch purely because of how goofy it is. I give Predator 2 a 7 out of 10. This movie is hilarious. I'm telling you, it's a good time. Go check it out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. D-Man, out.